This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
Sentencing is scheduled for July 11, just days before the Republican convention that's set to nominate Trump for another run at the White House. Now, joining us now from Washington is Bloomberg's U.S. government editor, John Harney. John, good morning to you. Thank you for staying up so late for us. Look, this is a real moment in U.S. history. It is unprecedented that a former president has now become a convicted felon. Maybe let me just start off by asking you what exactly President Trump has been found guilty of.
The case revolved around a payment to an adult film star who said she had sexual relations with Trump back in 2006. The charges concerned allegations that business records were falsified to conceal a payment to her, and in doing so, and that the motive for this was so her story, her account of what happened with Donald Trump, which he denies. He says he did not have a relationship with her. That these payments were essentially for her silence, so it would not come out during the 2016 election.
So let's talk about what happens next. We know the sentencing date is July 11th. If he is convicted and sentenced to go to jail, what is the likelihood that former President Trump actually ends up in jail?
Well, all these questions are new, and we don't know. He cannot file an appeal until the sentencing takes place. Once an appeal is filed, it could go to higher courts in New York State, where this trial took place, and into federal court, and perhaps all the way to the Supreme Court ultimately. As for sentencing, he could get probation, he could get home confinement, or he could get imprisonment. But the question would be, he's still protected by the Secret Service, as all former presidents and presidents are. What kind of extraordinary arrangements would have to be made for his incarceration if that happens?